So grade 9, significant figures. We can look at these few examples and then I can give you a few problems to attempt. So before we solve these problems, we can just talk about a few rules which are normally used at grade 9 level. So yeah, we have a few other rules, but at this stage, they may not be required. So the first rule for significant figures is none zeros are considered significant. So these are all significant figures. So provided you have a number like a 1, a 2, a 3, all the way to a 9, these numbers are all considered significant. And then for the zeros, it depends on where they are. For example, when you have a 0 between significant figures, like in this case here, we have two significant figures, a 2 and a 7. So this 0 here is considered significant. So when a 0, let me just say zeros, no E, zeros between significant figures are also considered significant. And then the third rule is on the leading zeros. So when we talk of the leading zeros, we're talking about these ones here, the first zeros on decimal numbers. These zeros are not considered significant. So you can say leading zeros not significant, like that. And then the last one, although not really the last, but in for this lesson, the last one is on the trading zeros. The zeros at the end of a decimal number. Zeros like these ones. So trading zeros are considered significant. These are all considered significant, provided you have a decimal point and then you have some numbers. Notice these are leading zeros, they do not apply here. We are referring to these ones here. So if I have a number like a 200, anyway, this one is conditional, but these two zeros here will not be considered significant as far as this rule is concerned. So let's just quickly look at these four examples. So how many significant figures has the first digit here? So the first digit has 1, 2, 3, but then the zeros between two significant figures are also considered significant. And this one here is a trading zero, so you can also consider it significant. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures. So you can just say the answer there is 5. For this one, remember these leading zeros, they are not considered significant. These are non-zeros, so they are all significant. This 0 is between two significant figures, so it's considered significant. This is a trading 0, that means it's equally significant. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 significant figures. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Because the zeros between significant figures are also significant, and the last 0 is equally significant. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 significant figures here. And then in this case, we have a 5, a 0.03, and 0. So remember, the non-zero digits are all considered significant. So the 5 and the 3 both significant. And then the zeros between significant figures are also considered significant. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then remember the trading zeros are equally considered significant. So this one is equally significant. In other words, all these 5 digits are significant here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures. And then we can move on to question 2. Write the following numbers correct to the stated number of significant figures or decimal places or whatever they ask you to do. So in this case, we are rounding numbers off. So the first one is 23.615. We want to round this number correct to 3 significant figures. I got this from a 2024 mathematics paper 1. This was an external paper. So you have 23.615. I want to write this correct to 3 significant figures. So for my 3 significant figures, I'll concentrate on the first 3 digits. So I can write the first two, 23 point, but before I write this, I need to check this number. If this number is below 5, let's say it's a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, or a 0, then this one will remain the same. If this number is a 5 and above, then you expect this to increase by 1. So as you can see, 1 is less than 5. It's among these numbers. So the 6 will remain the same. So that means you have answered this question. You have rounded this number off correct to 3 significant figures. And then on part B, we have 41.956. Then we want to round it off correct to 2 decimal places. So to round this number, 41.956, correct to 2 decimal places, these are the 2 numbers you want to concentrate on. So you can write all these other numbers for 1.9. But before you write this, you need to check the next digit. Is it among these numbers? Like, is it less than 5? As you can see, 6 is not less than 5. So 6, since 6 is greater than 5, this digit here will increase by 1. So instead of putting a 5 here, I'll put a 6 because of this number here. And then the next one, we have 568.497. We want to round this number off correct to 2 significant figures rather. So you have 568.497 correct to 2 significant figures. So you want to concentrate on these 2 here. So to round this number correct to 2 significant figures, just write the first number as it is. And then for the second digit, you check the number next to it. Is it in the set 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Or is it in the set, let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4? So if the number next to 6 is in this set, then the 6 will increase by 1. Otherwise, it will remain as it is. So as you can see, 8 is greater than 5. So that means this one will increase by this. And then everything else will be 0. But then the question here is saying correct to 2 significant figures. These are not 2 significant figures because of the decimal numbers here. So what you do is you can write this as 570 so that you only have 2 significant figures. And then the next problem is part D, where we have 764.5, which you want to round off to the nearest 10. So we have ones, these are ones, then we have tens, we have hundreds, and then these are tenths with a th at the end. So we want to round this one off to the nearest 10. So what you do is just target the last two digits. In other words, you are targeting the tenth, the number or the figure representing the tens. So you can write the first digit as it is, but before you write this one, you need to check the number before it. Is this number less than 5? Of course it is, so that means this one will not be affected. It will remain a 6, and then everything else will be a 0. But of course, in a case like this, you don't need this. So this one will be 760, and they're done. And then lastly, we have this one. This one was a bit unique, but not really hard. So we have 6.9960. Then you want to round this number off correct to 2 decimal places. So the 2 decimal places are these. So you can write the first 2 digits as usual, but before you write the third digit, check the next number. So this number is a 6. It's greater than 5. So that means this one will increase by 1. But once this one increases by 1, it will be a 10, and you can't write a 10 like this. So what you do is you put a 0. When you add the 1 to this, you have a 10. Or maybe you can just do it like this. Just add the 1 here to the to the second decimal place. So when you add the 1 here, you have a 0, and then you carry 1. When you add the 9 to this, or maybe you add the 1 to this one, you have another 0. Remember, 9 plus 0 is 9 plus 1, that's a 10. So you can say 0, you carry 1. And then 6 plus 0, that's a 7. So this would be 7.00. Correct to 2 decimal places. And you're done. So now you can just solve these few problems. So starting from the first one here, and then with ending with this one here. I didn't even indicate where I got this. It could be from 2018 math paper 1. I'm not sure if it was internal or external, judging from this. Okay, enjoy your work.